What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode 14 of the FanDuel Football Multiverse, where we explore various what-if scenarios and see how things could have been different across the NFL. Today, we're going to ask what if Andrew Luck unretired and led the Indianapolis Colts against Cam Newton and the New England Patriots. I am Jim Sonis, senior writer and analyst at numberFire, joined here by JJ Zachariason, editor-in-chief of numberFire and FanDuel. And JJ, Andrew Luck, that guy coming out of retirement, and it was a surprise last year when he retired, but now we get to see him one last time. What are you expecting to see here?
Hopefully the gunslinger mentality that we grew to love with Andrew Luck, makes a lot of mistakes, but he does way more good than bad. So I'm excited to see him back on the field once again. Like you said, it was a surprise that he retired last year. I think a lot of people expected him to come back, honestly.
Yeah.
But he is back now in the multiverse.
I remember all the conspiracy theories around, like, the XFL, rest in peace, how because his dad was helping run the XFL, and now his dad, don't think he feels as good about the XFL as he did at that time. And it was kind of fun to, think about that possibility, but never really seemed to be the most realistic route.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Luck would have been the second best quarterback in the XFL had he played there.
I need to guess here. Wait, no.
PJ Walker.
No.
It's PJ Walker.
We got to see, oh my gosh. I can't even think of his name right now. The guy from Buffalo. He was like, if Josh Allen were faster. I can't remember his name. Oh my gosh, this is going to bother me so long. He replaced Cardale Jones because Cardale Jones is terrible. Became the starter.
In the XFL?
We'll figure this out. But I think Andrew Luck in the XFL.
Man, Jim, why are you doing this to us?
I don't know.
I'm having a brain fart right now.
I'm going to figure it out. Tyree Jackson.
Tyree Jackson, thank you.
Tyree Jackson, who, again, I'm pretty sure was just Josh Allen if Josh Allen were a little bit faster. But it was fun to watch him for his, 2 starts before the XFL folded due to coronavirus.
And look, I know that chat is yelling at us right now for not remembering Tyree Jackson.
I'm sure that chat has, Tyree Jackson's date of birth memorized. His social security number is in their brains. So I'm sure that that's where you're all at. It just took me a second to remember our patron saint of the XFL, Tyree Jackson.
Yeah. Speaking of football, that was my transition. Sony Michel so far. Oh, okay. 2 carries for -8 yards now for Sony. So
Vintage
good start.
Sony Michel.
Yeah, good start for him. Hopefully Cam, though, has a better game than he had last time that we saw him.
Yeah, we had him on the FanDuel Football Multiverse before he actually signed with the Patriots, because that was back when Cam was still a free agent. We got past June 1, which changes the way things work from a comp pick perspective, and of course the Patriots were very mindful of that, I'm sure. And then they decided to sign Cam Newton, so now we get to see it and talk about it in reality, in terms of definitives rather than hypotheticals. Cam, 3rd and 18 here. Didn't play too well last time, but this time it's Mohamed Sanu for a big game, and Sanu gets a face mask too, so they'll be in Colts territory. And JJ, Cam struggled the first time we saw him, but he's already off to a good start here.
Yeah, didn't he have 6 passing yards in the first half?
It wasn't good. I would say that, but I think that was before we switched to arcade mode, I believe.
I think so too. I think that might have been the last week of non-arcade mode.
That may have been the camel or the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, it was all because of Cam that we changed things up for the good too, because these games have been much more entertaining. But yeah, I think it was that game against Buffalo, and he just
Steven Hauschka went nuts.
Yeah, he just couldn't do anything. It was probably the most boring multiverse game of all time.
Things have been much better since then. Cam with the play action fake to James White, holding most likely going to be the call here, but Cam takes off, picks up about 10 yards and keeps on going. Just a truck. And that was one of the criticisms of Andrew Luck when he was still around, was that he was sometimes too willing to take on contact. Part of that was that their offensive line was just an absolute dumpster fire for the first couple of years, but then eventually they got the offensive line figured out, and Andrew Luck took advantage. I think that the best we ever saw Andrew Luck perform was from week 5 or 6 on during his final year, and it kind of stinks to be robbed of seeing what he could have done in the years following had that retirement and had the injuries not piled up the way they did.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's one of those things where, of course, do you, Andrew Luck, do whatever you think is best for your life. But as football fans, we want to see Andrew Luck on a football field because he is definitely more entertaining and better to watch than Jacoby Brissett.
As far as Phillip Rivers goes, I don't know. It depends on your definition of entertainment because Phillip Rivers does some wild things, both good and bad. So I don't know where I'd rank them from an entertainment perspective, but yes, Jacoby Brissett, definitely not quite on Andrew Luck's level. And Cam, I think one of the more entertaining football players we've seen in quite some time. Mohamed Sanu breaking tackles, because why not? Cam 202 for 42 yards, now in third and manageable, 3rd down and 2 here as he jostles Julian Edelman around. Cam officially signed with the Patriots, and pretty excited to see how things shake out. They still have the same issues that they had before with the skill position players not being the strength of that team by any means, but a good offensive line, probably the best that Cam Newton has ever had, and Cam can make up for deficiencies in the skill position talent as he has shown throughout his entire career when healthy. So what are you expecting out of Cam now that we know he is going to be here in New England?
Yeah, look, so I think the number one concern is health, right? He's coming off that foot injury. He's had issues the last couple of years. That shoulder that he sustained, I think it was against Pittsburgh in that Monday night or Sunday night game. And basically from that point on, he just hadn't been the same. And they also documented that on the one All or Nothing series on Amazon. But the one positive is Dr. Chow, Pro Football Doc, seems pretty optimistic about Cam Newton's health, and Dr. Chow is usually pretty right with these guys. So if he's healthy, I think that there's going to be some growing pains within this offense. The weapons aren't necessarily stellar, but he's worked with worse before. Cam Newton has. So
are you saying that Jericho Cotchery is not like an all-world wide receiver? Oh, is that Matt Lacoste? Oh my gosh,
wow.
Matt Lacoste.
Speaking of all-world wide receivers,
I mean, if he can throw touchdowns to Jericho Cotchery, why not Matt Lacoste? Matt Lacoste, $7,500 on FanDuel. Lacoste, the boss, with the tutty to open things up here for the Patriots.
Did they line him up outside? How did he get over there?
Would he be the best vertical wide receiver on this Patriots team if he were a wide receiver and not a tight end?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, now they have Demir Bird and stuff and different speedy pieces, but yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, we saw the speed there. Matt Lacoste can burn. I'm sure somewhere in the 4-second bracket with his 40. We'll go out on a limb here. But Lacoste comes through and a passing touchdown for Cam Newton. Cam, $14,500 on FanDuel for this game. Andrew Luck was $15,000. Kind of interesting to see Cam at a lower salary than Andrew Luck, given that Cam has the rushing too. We saw that 10-yard rush before, which I believe got wiped out by holding, but Cam off to a good start here so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if you were constructing a lineup for this, look, there's the Jimmy Garoppolo twin, Bill Belichick. If you were constructing a lineup for this, it'd be really hard to not use Andrew Luck because it's Andrew Luck, and focus your lineup construction around him. But I would imagine that Cam is a decent differentiation piece just because of that, because the focus is on Andrew Luck, and you might get that percent rostered number down a little bit. So for those of you who did do that, you're off to a good start.
Absolutely. But now we'll get to see Andrew Luck back out here on the field for the Colts. And I think that, again, it's disappointing. It's understandable that Andrew Luck retired because, again, all the things that you mentioned, health matters a lot. Andrew Luck, it seems like the guys who values his non-football life quite a bit based on his interests outside of football. So it makes a lot of sense. But it would have been really fun to see Andrew Luck with another year of this offensive line, with guys like Michael Pittman, with Jonathan Taylor, with T.Y. Hilton being back there once again. It would have been fun to see Luck in this setting. And obviously Taylor and Pittman aren't going to be in this game specifically, but in the 2020 team, it just kind of stinks not to get to see him. But it will be fun at least to see Andrew Luck one more time here in the football multiverse.
I mean, how insane would the quarterback depth be in fantasy football if Andrew? I mean, you're adding a top 10 quarterback to the mix, and he would be right there with in that Josh Allen tier probably, above him probably as QB7 in terms of rankings. So you literally, I mean, if you're in a 10-team fantasy league, why would you ever even you don't need to draft a quarterback.
Right. And especially because we can talk about Cam Newton too. As we get closer to the season, we don't know if Cam if we get more evidence that Cam is healthy, he's just another quarterback who bolsters that depth that you were just talking about. Because I think that even if Cam proves to be healthy, I can't imagine that his average draft position is going to be anything prohibitive at all this year, which makes him a really interesting guy to monitor here. But if you had both a healthy Cam and Andrew Luck in that pool, things would be pretty deep. Yeah. And I like some of the other later round guys too we haven't even discussed. Like, I think that Jared Goff is a little bit undervalued for this year. Baker Mayfield doesn't have the easiest path to a ceiling in fantasy football, but a guy with really good weapons around him. Big Ben is definitely interesting for sure. So there's a lot of depth for sure, and it would be fun to think about what things would look like if Luck were in that pool too.
Yeah, it's absolutely wild. And to your point with Cam Newton, what we've seen this year from a fantasy standpoint is that the market got really efficient with how they're ranking quarterbacks and how he has all the time in the world. My goodness,
it's that offensive line, man.
Yeah. But the quarterback market is pretty efficient right now, where you have got, right now in the NFL, what we're seeing is this transition to, a decade ago, we had these guys who were just throwing for crazy numbers, and then we started to see a little bit of a resurgence in guys who could run with the ball and be really effective that way, like Cam. But now you have this combination of both, right? Mm-hmm. And fantasy managers are recognizing that, and they're ranking Kyler Murray high, and Dak Prescott high, and Russell Wilson high, and obviously Lamar Jackson. Even Patrick Mahomes has some sneaky ability with his legs, as we saw in the playoffs last year. And then Josh Allen, the reason Josh Allen is relevant in fantasy is because of what he can do running with the football. Right. We don't have many of those options late right now. You can maybe make the case for Ryan Tannehill, Daniel Jones,
Joe Burrow,
maybe Joe Burrow, right? So there's guys like that, but Cam Newton is part of that, right? So if his ADP stays down, and if he's being drafted as like the QB 15, let's say, then all of a sudden you can find some of that upside late in drafts. But right now it's just tough to find that.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think that it's good that people playing fantasy recognize the advantages of rushing. The problem is that easy cheat code that Rich Rebar would always talk about, the Konami code, it's been kind of taken away just because people are finally realizing the value of said cheat code with the rushing.
Yeah, it's tough.
So Cam, for his second drive of the game, no first downs for Andrew Luck. James White getting the carry there. It seems like they are moving away from Sony Michel and trying to get the passing down back in there more often. That's, I believe, the third carry now for James White. Rock, paper, scissors is interesting.
This is what you do waiting for a play to happen.
They had, I remember when the Colts were doing their intros on offense, Quentin Nelson looked like he was riding a roller coaster, had his hands up in the air and was waving back and forth. Yeah. So I want to see this more in the actual NFL too. I want to see these very strange introductions because I feel like the world could use a little bit more strangeness for sure.
I was thinking about that, with the no fans in the stadiums this season. Hopefully the season happens. But
oh my, is that James White or is that Sony Michel? That's Michel. Michel breaks loose. Ooh. He heard the smack we were talking. He busts off a huge run there for almost 50 yards as he gets back up. Almost 50-yard run. Now it's 41 yards rushing, which shows you how the first two runs went. But Sony Michel showing some burst there.
Yeah, strong run. But yeah, if there's no fans in the stadium, are they going to do entrances like they typically do at home? Yeah. Are they going to get hype?
I don't know.
Football players, are they going to get hype enough whenever they're playing without fans?
I think the most exciting thing about potentially not having fans, and it's obviously not an exciting prospect because it's a reflection of this very scary time we live in, but you remember that clip of Cam Newton? I think it was against the Packers where Clay Matthews, I think, pointed out hey, it's that wheel route, and Cam's like, you've been watching the film, huh? Watch this. Yeah. And then he hits McCaffrey for the touchdown. If we can hear more of Cam Newton and others talking smack during a play or right before it, I am all in favor. Let's have the fans stay at home for every game if that's the case.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're going to get used to it for sure, once it all starts and stuff. And we're going to find positives, hopefully, from it. Sure. I think that we're all going to walk away and say, yeah, we want fans back in the stadium. That would be an ideal scenario because it's just better and more entertaining, and financially it's good for the leagues. But it's still, I think that there's going to be some upside, something that we can at least latch onto and be like, oh, that's kind of cool. We're seeing a different glimpse of the team and how everything functions as opposed to how we typically see it.
I am excited, in a hypothetical world where Seattle struggles at home, the Seattle Seahawks fans are going to quantify how much value they add via
Yeah.
noise, I am all in favor. Like, we can get some smack talk between fan groups. Another big run there for Sony Michel as he breaks free once again. 53 yards for him. Sony Michel up to 53 yards rushing. No receptions as of yet. Shocker, because it's Sony Michel. But 12-5, and he is looking good as of now. But if we can quantify the value of, like, Seahawks fans or Kansas City fans, that could be pretty fun, too.
Yeah, from a data perspective, this is honestly,
yeah.
you know, it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, it's obviously horrible because of why this is all happening, like you said. But all things considered, you know, not having fans in the stadium is going to give us a lot of interesting data points. Now, we're probably going to overrate those data points because and overstate them because it's a small sample size still. But it's still going to be really, really interesting to see, you know, how big, because I do think that home field advantage isn't just about the fans. I think it's because of the routine. It's because of what you're used to in the locker room and in your typical warm up. And when you're in a different stadium, just naturally, human nature wise, you know, you don't feel as comfortable. So I do think there's still an element of that, but it'll be really, really interesting to see, you know, what changes over on FanDuel Sportsbook and how lines move, etc. And I think we're going to see a lot of wacky lines to begin with, just because it's going to be really, really tough to predict.
Yeah, my co-host on Covering the Spread, Ed Fang, Dr. Ed Fang at thepowerrank.com, last week on Covering the Spread was talking about the effect of home field in, like, the Bundesliga and the English Premier League. So we actually have data on what home field is like there with no fans. And with the fans, it was like worth 0.3 points to be at home, or 0.3 goals, because we're not talking football. We're talking other football here. 0.3 goals to be at home, and it's been 0.1 with no fans. So if we translate that to the NFL, if we reduce the effects of home field by 67%, that goes from a 3-point bump to being a 1-point bump. And maybe it wasn't a 3-point bump to begin with, given the way that home field kind of deteriorated last year across the NFL, where away teams actually scored more points. But we're going to have more definitive answers. Again, assuming we have a season, you know, I don't want to bring that into here because that's just not fun to think about. But there are a lot of interesting data points that could come from it, like you said.
Yeah, and there goes Ben Watson.
Again.
Ben Watson dominated the last time. I shouldn't say dominated. He was just better than everyone else.
So we had Andrew Luck come out of retirement, but I feel like we should have built this around Benjamin Watson again coming out of retirement. Like, this poor dude is just trying to, like, live his life, and we're like, no, Benjamin. We're going to crawl you back here and force you to play these Madden sims, but he just goes nuts every single time.
Yeah, he really does. I feel like he's retired and unretired 45 times in the NFL too.
In the actual NFL, not just the multiverse. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Watson, $9,500 for this stream. He caught the lone touchdown of that game where Cam was the Patriots quarterback before. I think it's a tackle eligible play. No, they have a receiver to the left. That would have been fun. But the handoff goes to Michel. No room there. It's been very feast or famine-esque for Sony Michel. The success rate for Michel, not that high, but yards per carry off the charts. Bringing a 3rd down and 11. Cam and the Patriots trying to go up by 2 scores here as they are in Colts territory. This is the Andrew Luck game, but not a whole lot from Luck so far. Just 1 drive, and I believe no first downs for the Colts.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, the Patriots has just been holding on to the ball because they keep running it, and Sony Michel broke off a couple of big runs. So hopefully we get to see more of Luck, but we need them to score quick or turn the ball over or something.
Fake Bill Belichick knows the clock constraints here, and Michel, or that was James White that time, put on a nice move, got inside the 5, and gets a face mask. They're even at the half-yard line, which means that if this were the real NFL, you know it would be a fullback carry here, because that's just what the Patriots do. Or like Brandon Bolden would come on for one play for some reason again. It would be something that would just make you tilt your face off. Maybe it's the second touchdown from Matt LaCosse.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what Italian Bill Belichick, suave Bill Belichick does in this game.
Although this time they have Cam. I don't know if Madden's going to account for that, because if I had Cam on the 1-yard line, QB draw, baby. But
here comes a draw to James White or Sony Michel, probably. Oh, no.
Oh, that was almost picked off by Anthony Walker Jr., best defender in the NFL. See, tomorrow is the college show where we have Clemson versus Ohio State. I think Anthony Walker Jr. would play tight end or like wide receiver if we were to do a Northwestern Wildcats version, because he's just that good. But almost got the pick there. Now, all right, let's go QB sneak here with Cam. Nope, they decide to hand it off to Sony Michel, and he got the touchdown. And that puts the Patriots on top 13-0. First rushing touchdown of the game for Sony Michel. He is into the double digits for his FanDuel points in this one, and looks like Benjamin Watson busted up the bow by Michel, and that could lead to some fisticuffs there. Don't mess up the celebration.
I was just thinking, we're doing the college thing tomorrow, where we're pitting Clemson against Ohio State.
Yep.
But what we talked about last week is that Pitt players seem to always do well in these streams, but I don't think there's a Pitt player in this game at a skill position.
Ooh, I think you're right. That's tough to find, because we were joking about it on one stream last week, and we were like, oh, tomorrow's the Chiefs, so LaShawn McCoy's gonna have a touchdown, and then he got a receiving touchdown on the first drive of the game. Now they're dabbing. All right, that wasn't even a defensive touchdown, but they're loving life over there. Deteriorating Frank Reich over on the sidelines once again.
The ghost of Frank Reich.
He needs the beard. I think the beard is what ties together the Frank Reichness.
Yeah, some guys really de-age whenever they when they get a beard.
Yeah, absolutely. Frank Reich, just silver foxy when he has the beard. And without it, it's a different story for sure. Nyheim Hines back to return this kick, getting Andrew Luck back out there once again. As JJ mentioned, we have the college FanDuel Football Multiverse tomorrow. It'll be the Cincinnati Bengals acting as the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on the Carolina Panthers, who are acting as the Clemson Tigers. We're putting skill position guys from both colleges at the biggest positions at the top of the depth charts. For more depth chart info, go to FanDuel.com and check out the Multiverse landing page, which you can find. Oh, Madden had a bug there. It showed that Andrew Luck had 32,764 passing yards.
I didn't even see that. I was staring at the picture of him first to see. I was like, wow, they did a pretty good job in the creative character.
They got the neck beard. Yeah, they got the neck beard.
He looks close enough.
As long as he's the neck beard, everything else is just gravy. It doesn't even matter outside of that. But it should be pretty fun tomorrow. You can still get those contests entered by going to the FanDuel. Oh, wow. Marlon Mack tried to break that tackle, but couldn't do so. Go to the FanDuel lobby, check out the ENFL tab. That's our final FanDuel Multiverse episode. So make sure you are subscribed to the FanDuel YouTube page so you can get notified as that one goes live. We're not going away. We've still got sports, obviously, coming back next week. With baseball just around the corner, we'll have plenty of podcast stuff going up on the YouTube page. We have our PGA and NASCAR Heat Check fantasy podcast. I said fantasy podcast. That doesn't work. Fantasy podcasts. Those go up on the FanDuel YouTube page each week. So make sure you are subscribed to get that, even once these multiverse episodes are through.
Can't believe it's ending, Jim.
I know. We've had a good run. 14 episodes so far. We will have 15 in total at the end. Chat is either elated or angry out of their minds that we're ending. It could be both. I don't know. Both at the same time. I mean,
look, the reason though is that there's real sports are coming back, and that's exciting.
Right.
If we were able, if we had all the time in the world, we'd sit here and do Madden streams, multiverse streams, hourly. But
I gotta go watch Byron Buxton play baseball, man.
Yeah, I don't, but
I do. Believe me.
I'll tell you what though. I'm sporting a Pirate shirt right now, which I've kind of disowned them because of the ownership. But if there's 1 year the Pirates can make a run, even if their roster is completely mediocre, give me all the variants. Give me all the variants of a 60-game season.
For Yankees and Dodgers fans, variance is bad. If you're a Pirates fan or a Royals fan or a Tigers fan, bring it on, baby. You want everything. 16 playoff spots? Let's go 60. Why not? Let's bring some AAA teams in because let's make it more fun.
I think I'm most excited though about because a 60-game baseball season is perfect for someone like me, right? Yeah. Who I basically historically the last decade I've watched the anchors of the season, the front part and the back part, and then obviously the years that the Pirates were competitive, it was really really fun. But it's going to be interesting though this year with that because you're going to see teams that hopefully weren't, teams that were supposed to be good or supposed to be decent, but maybe not so good. And so, we could see the Reds, for instance, just win the Central and make a run because their team's a lot better than it was, 2 or 3 years ago. Look at me doing baseball analysis.
Yeah, I love it. The Reds are a pretty trendy pick. I don't know if you were aware of this or if you just picked them at random.
I'm not aware of it really at all. But I'm excited for like a random team like that to like be this like dominant force because it's such a small sample.
Right.
You know, half or more than half the games are gone. So I'm ready for a team like that to just like emerge and just crush.
It'll be really fun. It'll be very interesting just to watch how much variance we can get when we cut down the sample to just 37%. T.Y. Hilton getting the first down there. Colts don't have a ton of time left. They do have 3 timeouts. It's going to get down to 1 minute and 1 second. The Colts will call a timeout because Madden is a wild, wild place. But moving the ball here, finally, Devin Funchess broke a tackle earlier, which I honestly don't know if I've ever seen that happen. But Zach Ertz truck sticked someone a couple weeks ago. So if he can do that, Devin Funchess can do anything.
True.
There's the timeout at 101. If only the things weren't so predictable.
you got to burn 4 seconds when you can.
That's right. With Madden clock management, anything is possible.
I'm feeling
1 minute and 1 second.
I'm feeling a Luck T.Y. Hilton connection coming soon.
They were like best friends, weren't they?
I mean, T.Y. I know that there was a heartfelt message from T.Y. when it all went down. It was very sad.
Yeah, it was. Instead, it's Devin Funchess getting another catch there. Touchdowns so far, both by the Patriots. One by, of course, Matt Lacoste. The other by Sony Michel, who was $12,500. Lacoste, $7,500. Andrew Luck, $15,000. And you need touchdowns for that to pay off. And thankfully, down to the 13-yard line, 58 seconds left, 1 timeout in their back pocket. But with Madden clock management, nothing is a given. 58 seconds may not be enough because, again, it's the wild, wild west out there. Luck on 2nd and 1 does complete this one. That's Eric Ebron. Eric Ebron in our only Colts stream. I think that was the Deshaun Watson on the Jaguars one. He went berserk and gets his first catch of the game here.
No one else in that game did, though.
No, it was just Eric Ebron, all by himself.
That was like a 6-3 final or something terrible like that.
And he had 85 yards and a touchdown or something. First and goal from the 5. Andrew Luck completes this one to, guess who? It's Eric Ebron. Can't quite get into the end zone, though. That's going to cut things pretty close here. 23 seconds left. 1 timeout. I think they're going to call a timeout at 16 seconds. They're going to kick a field goal, and we're going to laugh at them. There's a timeout.
Wow, 16 seconds. It's almost like Jim has been doing the play-by-play in these Madden streams.
I've watched too many of these.
Games. My
My brain is broken. I'm going to be watching real NFL games, fingers crossed, and it'll get down to 1 minute and 1 second and be like, whoa, where's the timeout? What are they doing?
You guys have to watch Jim's Twitter feed whenever games are going on, and he's saying, why didn't they call a timeout with 16 seconds left?
Just short-circuiting on the other side. Luck drops back to pass, 2nd and goal, all the time in the world. That clock is running down, buddy. Don't get sacked. Don't get sacked. Don't get sacked. Oh, my gosh, he got sacked. What are you doing? Andrew. No.
No.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. If you used Andrew Luck or honestly any Colt in your lineup, you have every right to just throw your laptop or whatever surface you are watching this on, because that was a bad beat there.
That was the most tilting play in this stream ever.
With 11 seconds left, we were telling him not to take a sack.
Oh my goodness, Andrew.
That was early career Andrew Luck there. When he got older and the offensive line got better, that was not as much of an issue. But wow. Whew.
That was just deer in the headlights, you telling your kid to do something or to watch out for something, and them just freezing because they have no idea what to do, and they're frozen there hanging out.
Honestly, I feel like you gotta just go to Jacoby Brissett. Maybe Chad Kelly. I don't know. Is Chad Kelly even in this game?
I mean, if Swag Kelly's on their bench right now, you got to throw him under center after that play.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw Brissett once already. We don't need to see Brissett again.
Yeah,
we saw a half of Andrew Luck. We saw that hideous sack. Give the people what they want. Twitter, if Swag Kelly ever starts a game, either on purpose or by accident, Twitter will go berserk. Absolutely nuts. Well, at least the Colts get the ball back again.
I had him rostered in a dynasty league last year. That's how a Superflex league at least. But that's how desperate. That's how desperate I was for Swag Kelly to happen.
But Brian Hoyer looked so great. Why would you think anything could happen there?
Right.
All right. Let's try it again, Andrew. That was not good. we are building this stream around Andrew Luck. He's got us down, but still a full half left to go. He's still Andrew Luck, and this Andrew Luck is built to the specifications, I believe, of his last year in the league. So that should be a good player. So it's not done, but it's not a great way to start things off by any means.
This is what Andrew Luck does. We've seen him have some awesome comebacks, so I'm ready for it in this game too. Here we go. It's going to start here. Let's go.
We go.
There we go.
Hilton breaks one tackle, gets down to midfield. 8 of 10 for 90 yards. That line is deceptive, buddy, because sacks count too. Yeah. And thankfully, unlike any of you are in the Scott Fish Bowl, you lose points for sacks there. You don't lose points for sacks on FanDuel. So thankfully, Andrew Luck not hurting your rosters directly with those sacks, just indirectly very much so by not scoring. T.Y. Hilton looking pretty good there. He won't have Andrew Luck for this year, but he will have Phillip Rivers. And Phillip Rivers, despite the interceptions, still was not terrible last year. Are you thinking this is a situation where you might want to get T.Y. Hilton while the cost is low, JJ, or do you think that lower cost is appropriate for this year?
I mean, I think it's appropriate. I lean more that he's a value than not, because I do think that there's a lot of volume potential. I still think, he has top 12, top 15 upside, and then you want that in a guy that you're getting, in the 6th or 7th round or wherever he ends up going, 5th round. You want that kind of player. I still prefer, going with someone like Terry McLaurin and someone younger who has that, unknown upside and that potential, but T.Y. Hilton should be fairly safe. I do worry a little bit about, the frequency in which Rivers ends up throwing it deep and wanting to throw it deep, and what this offense could look like. Because you do have pass-catching backs that they're going to utilize. You do have Paris Campbell there, who I think is going to be a lower average depth of target player. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that the move is an upgrade in total for T.Y. Hilton, I would say. So hopefully we see him, give us his old stat lines that we've seen in the past this season, unlike, sort of what we saw last year.
Well, T.Y. Hilton's happy to have Andrew Luck back for the stream, but Eric Ebron may have been the dude, most negatively impacted by Andrew Luck retiring, because he went just bonkers in Luck's final season. Last year, dealt with injuries, had a weird ankle injury late in the year, eventually wound up going to Pittsburgh. But if he had hit free agency after another good year with Andrew Luck, Eric Ebron probably would have gotten paid. Instead, still doing fine for himself for sure. As we get an end around here to T.Y. Hilton, breaks one tackle, but can't get beyond that. But Eric Ebron definitely negatively impacted by the Andrew Luck retirement.
For sure. I mean, he was a huge touchdown regression candidate, but
right.
It's one of those instances where, yeah, he's a touchdown regression candidate, but at the same time, he was being utilized so heavily, within the 10, within the 5, and in the red zone. So that played into why he was scoring at the rate that he was scoring. He shouldn't have scored as many touchdowns as he did that one year. But yeah, I mean, he's someone who definitely benefited from Andrew Luck being under center. I don't think he's going to have that horrible of a season with Roethlisberger. It's just we don't know what the split's going to look like with Vance McDonald. We don't know what the red zone looks are going to look. It's a new scheme. It's different, right? And it's just really wild too with Eric Ebron. One of his statistical knocks was the fact that, and this dates back to. Yeah, this was dating back to when he was in college. He couldn't find the end zone at all. And then it continued in the NFL. He just couldn't find the end zone. And then all of a sudden he goes to Indianapolis and he's finding the end zone all the time. So hopefully we can see that exist, though, in Pittsburgh. Because I think that he's a pretty fun fit with Ben Roethlisberger, who has sort of the same aggressive mentality that Andrew Luck does.
Absolutely. Colts driving here once again. Thankfully, clock won't be an issue this time, but it's 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Luck is going to throw once again. Plenty of time, guns into the end zone, and there he is. Eric Ebron gets the first touchdown of the game for the Colts and cut this down to a one-score game. Eric Ebron checked in at $10,500 for this game, and again, he is oh so happy to have Andrew Luck back in the saddle here for the Colts.
I am on team tight end all the time in Madden streams.
Absolutely.
I mean, they just do this. They do this all. David Njoku did it last week. I think it was.
You would have had Matt Lacoste in your MVP spot. I know.
Yeah, sure, of course.
We can be revisionists. Why not?
Yeah,
it's perfect.
Matt Lacoste. But I do think that Eric Ebron was a logical play.
Oh yeah, for sure. I 100% agree because he was 10-5. T.Y. Hilton was $12,000. Devin Funchess was 10-5. Funchess didn't do much in our first stream, and we know that target distributions are pretty flat in this game, so it makes sense that you might want to go away from someone like T.Y. Hilton. I still think T.Y. Hilton has a chance to do something throughout the end of this game, but Eric Ebron at 10-5 seemed to be a pretty logical investment from that perspective.
Yeah, and whoever scores next, we're going to say the exact same thing.
I mean, it's going to be Benjamin Watson.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Yeah,
If it's Ben Watson,
I'm going ahead.
You should have played Ben Watson.
Yeah, 9-5. Let's go.
Brandon
I didn't
Bolt.
fit the revisionist theme, unfortunately. We can have Cal, our video editor, go back in and change this YouTube video after the fact. No one will ever notice. I'm sure chat won't care.
Yeah.
Very level-headed response, I would assume. 14-7, Patriots on top. Bolden with the return there, and that'll bring out Cam Newton once again. And Cam looked really good in the first half. Put the Patriots on top, 14-7. Had that touchdown pass to Matt LaCosse. Second touchdown was a rushing touchdown for Sony Michel. Michel, double-digit FanDuel points in this game. Cam Newton, one passing touchdown. Good efficiency so far. Decent chunk of yardage as well. But Michel has had an impressive day so far despite a hideous start. So let's see what Cam can do here. Maybe we can get some rushing out of Cam on this drive as well.
Yeah, he had that one run, but I think that was really about it.
Yep. 161 total yards for the Patriots. Cam going under center here as they have their first drive of this second half. Handoff goes to Sony Michel. Michel picks up a couple of yards, up to 55 yards. So that is 11.5 FanDuel points so far for Sony Michel in this game. Again, he was 12-5, the same salary as Marlon Mack. Mack's kind of similar to T.Y. Hilton, where there's still a lot of time left for him to do well. And I think that running backs are the other position that have benefited from the change to arcade mode. Because we saw Nick Chubb and James Conner, I believe in the same game, both have a couple of touchdowns. Mack hasn't benefited yet, but still plenty of time. James White, 7 rushes for him. That's not too bad. 30 yards.
Yeah, he really could have cut there and made something happen, but he just went directly into the defender.
James White, not trying to do more work than he has to. $10,000 was his salary on FanDuel for this game. 3rd down and 2. Let's see what Cam can do here. Fakes a handoff. Good pocket protection. And guns it to the sideline, but throws it out of bounds. Cam, not a lot of volume, but good efficiency. But unfortunately, they can't pick up the first down there, which means the Colts will get the ball back. Down by 1 score. Still plenty of time left. So it's possible that snafu at the end of the first half, the Colts could still claw their way back into this and potentially tie this thing up on the next drive.
Could easily be 14-14 right now, though.
I mean, if Andrew Luck didn't have an affinity for sacks, if he didn't have Daniel Jones syndrome, they could have scored on that drive, but decided against it for whatever reason.
What's the live line right now, Jim?
I will do Patriots -2.5.
Okay. I would take the Patriots there.
Okay, so you're laying the 2.5 with the Patriots. All right,
Yeah.
So let's see how this goes here. I think I probably would lean that way too.
I think it's the right line.
Yeah, I mean, when you got, I guess I don't know what Steven Gostkowski's ratings are on Madden, given how bad of a year he had last year and all the injuries, but usually Gostkowski is pretty dependable. That's a long pass. Oh, I thought that Ebron got that. Would have been a disgusting catch in double coverage. Instead, it falls incomplete. But Eric Ebron trying to make a push for that MVP slot and shove Sony Michel out of the way.
Yeah, I was thinking, with that line, I was thinking they probably have like an expected value on this drive of like 2.5 or so. And then that would give you, close to 4 points, and New England would have the ball, but they're at home. The Colts are at home.
Right, that's true. And there are fans in this game.
And Andrew Luck. So I think that the line is right and good. But I'm still taking New England. That drop by Ebron though was kind of a dime.
It was a beautiful pass. That would have been such a huge gain for them had they actually gotten it. But T.Y. Hilton picks up the first down. So they're still moving the chains, still making things happen here with a little bit of time left to go here in this third quarter. Touchdown in this game by Eric Ebron, Matt LaCosse, and Sony Michel. And the Colts trying to equalize things here as we get to the close of the third quarter. Handoff goes to Marlon Mack, and again, nothing going there for Mack. Just 16 yards rushing in this game, and I don't think he has a reception yet. So tough day for Marlon Mack, but still some time left as we are about to get set for the fourth quarter. Do not forget, we are back here once again tomorrow night for our final FanDuel Football Multiverse. It is Clemson versus Ohio State in the NFL version of it. We got Deshaun Watson as the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, who are effectively the Clemson Tigers. Wayne Gallman is at running back. Again, we're just going to double down on Wayne Gallman because rather than use DeAndre Hopkins or Mike Williams, push all the chips to the center with Wayne Gallman, log out, and collect your winnings later.
Oh, man. Speaking of Clemson, so Clemson is Carolina in that game.
Yeah.
And I actually went to the ACC championship game a couple of years ago because Pitt was playing Clemson.
I remember that.
Pitt somehow snuck in just because of the way the division played out.
Yeah.
But it was so it was at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. And it was wild how, I mean, look, you have to put this in context where Clemson's like a 18 or like 28 point favorite, like something insane, right? So you knew that Clemson was going to win that game. But then on top of that, you have the proximity where Clemson's not too far from Charlotte. But that stadium was like 90% Clemson fans.
So while you were watching a Clemson game, I was watching an Ohio State game in this literal stadium, at Lucas Oil Stadium, on that same day. And I remember pulling out my phone at like halftime because I hadn't been able to pay attention to the Clemson game. I knew you were there, so I checked the score. I think it wasn't pretty at that time. I don't recall what time that game started.
There was some hope in the first quarter because it was like 14-10 or something like that at one point. And I'm like, okay, maybe this is at least going to be an interesting. And then it just went. And it was like pouring down rain.
Well, that's the same thing for the Ohio State Northwestern game because like Northwestern was down. They were down like 30 at half. Yeah. But then they actually got stuff going a little bit in the second half. I think that was Clayton Thorson at the time. It was after Justin Jackson was gone, so he wasn't there. But it wound up getting kind of interesting, and then Dwayne Haskins was like, no.
Yeah.
Your hope, it was futile. I'm going to put the knife in now.
Basically what I'm saying is it makes sense that Carolina would be the representation for Clemson there. Because you could have gone the Cleveland route for Ohio State. You know,
sure.
Columbus is like direct middle of Cincinnati and Cleveland. So you could have gone the Cleveland route, but I think going to Cincinnati, I lived in Cincinnati for a handful of years, and I can vouch that there are a lot of Ohio State fans there in Cincinnati.
Absolutely. So it'll be fun tomorrow, and we will be Dwayne Haskins, the guy we just alluded to. He'll be the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. Zeke Elliott, Michael Thomas, they'll be in that game. Curtis Samuel, Nick Vannett, again, the big ticket seller out of this one. Actually, Nick Vannett will probably be a really good FanDuel play for tomorrow, too.
Yeah, probably. Terry McLaurin, right?
Yep, absolutely. So should be a fun one. Get those contests entered and put Wayne Gallman in all of them. And if it doesn't go well, it's not my fault. But make sure you fill those out on FanDuel.com for our final one. And come back here to the FanDuel YouTube page, 8 p.m. Eastern time, to check out that stream. Here, though, we got an interesting one because the Colts had to punt. And with the way Bill Belichick, or at least fake Bill Belichick, operates, he could try to run down this clock here. A pitch out to Sony Michel makes a cut back in. Can't pick up too much, though. 10 carries, 58 yards, and a touchdown. I believe Eric Ebron currently the highest scorer in this game. So I think he has 5 catches for 50 yards and a touchdown. So edging out Michel by a bit. But if Michel can get something going here, he could supplant Ebron. Either way, though, those have been the two biggest producers so far today.
Yeah, I can't stop thinking about the way that Bill Belichick looks in this game. He's like Jersey Shore Belichick.
Yeah, it's weird to make him go from Bill Belichick to like a decently handsome looking guy. Like no shade at Bill Belichick. However,
couldn't they make like a Doug Marrone type guy, like just the most generic, like, you know, middle-aged to older guy that you can possibly find, and just make him be that. But you had to make him a Jimmy G clone. Right. That looks like he came from the Jersey Shore.
Oh, jeez. That's a big play there, actually, because they couldn't pick up the first down, and now the Patriots may need to punt. Darnell Autry's been just disgusting in this entire game. I think that's his third tackle for loss. Actually, that one wasn't a tackle for loss, but if you were the Patriots, you would probably go for it here, try to, go for the jugular.
Definitely.
But I feel like Madden's not gonna treat us to that.
Yeah, this is a close game. This is
Yeah.
one of the closer ones that we've seen.
Cam hasn't done a whole lot in the second half, which is unfortunate because he got off such a good start with that efficiency, and the volume hasn't been there either. So those of you who used him have not been bitten necessarily by using him, but he hasn't really paid off all that much either. All right, Andrew Luck coming out, down by 7, 3 minutes and 29 seconds left, 80 yards to try to tie this puppy up in his return to the Indianapolis Colts, or at least his virtual return to this Colts roster. We'll see what Luck can do here. He's been pretty good throughout today. They might not have to worry about the 7-point gap had it not been for his decision to take a sack at the end of the first half. They could have at least gotten a field goal if he had thrown out of bounds, but hey, why be optimal when you can instead make things interesting? Isn't he a screen pass? Oh my gosh, I thought that was going to be picked.
Oh,
and then Quentin Nelson almost caught it. Can you imagine if Quentin Nelson had caught that pass and gotten to run? I would pay so much money to watch Quentin Nelson play running back for one game.
Yeah, we should actually make that a multi.
I know, right?
Put some offensive linemen in at running back and quarterback. And
have them play all the skill positions. Let's just do that. 2nd and 10 here for Luck and the Colts. Dropping back once again, very Frank Reich-esque, or at least Reich when he had Luck. All the time in the world, get rid of the ball, man, and he doesn't. Again, taking the sack, Kyle Van Noy puts him in 3rd down and 18, and again, Andrew Daniel Jones Luck showing up once again here.
Yeah, that was bad. His pocket awareness has not been very strong in this game.
And the sacks were a big part of the reason why Andrew Luck's efficiency from an expected points number, his efficiency marks never really popped that much. If you look at Andrew Luck's 6 qualified seasons in the NFL, he never had a top 5 season in net expected points, total net expected points, which includes the rushing as well. Like Jared Goff has a top 5 season. I think that Matthew Stafford might have one. There are guys who can get in the top 5, but Luck never did. He had 4 top 10s, he had 5 top 15s, but never a top 5 season, in part due to the sacks. But that's gonna move the chains. A huge completion to, again, Eric Ebron, solidifying himself in that MVP slot, at least for now.
Yeah, that was huge. 3rd and 18, down 7.
That'll do a lot for an expected points model.
Yeah, I mean, that's a huge swing. Huge swing. Andrew Luck is efficient. You shut your mouth, Jim.
How dare I? How dare I ever compare Jared Goff to Andrew Luck? I had to sneak him in there. We didn't have a single Jared Goff stream. This is
was the Jared Goff season the first one with McVay?
It was 2018 actually.
Okay.
The year where he had the really rough second half. People forget, JJ, that Goff's first half that year was so stupid. He still wound up being top 5 in expected points for the full season because of how good he was the first half of the year.
Yeah, was that so? The first year with McVay,
he was 10th, I think, or somewhere around there.
But remember that Vikings game, that primetime game?
Oh, that was disgusting. Yeah.
That was the best game that Jared Goff ever played.
Yeah, because the Chiefs game, he had a couple of strip sacks.
Yeah, right.
I think he threw a pick or 2.
And I mean that. I also mean that from a real football standpoint.
Oh yeah.
Not even how it was calculated. But he that game against Minnesota, I just remember him dropping dimes, just deep balls like crazy. Never seen that before type of throws.
We just need to. I was going to say we need to put Jared Goff in primetime at all times, but he's also had a lot of really bad games in primetime. So maybe we shouldn't. Also, my stress levels get very high because I'm a Jared Goff fan, and when Jared Goff is in an island game, my stress level is at a peak at all times. I am always on edge and ready to snap off at someone on Twitter at all times. Oh my gosh, Andrew.
Man, my relationship with Goff is sort of like my relationship with Derek Carr, where I started as a hater.
Yeah.
And then things have reversed a little bit, but it's almost like people have gone too far in the other direction. So I've now become favorable towards them as players.
Right.
That's kind of how I feel about Goff. I'm ready for Goff to. I don't know why we're talking so much about Jared Goff during this game, but I'm ready for Goff to have a bounce back season, guys.
It's not like it's a 1-score game with less than 2 minutes left.
We're just talking about Jared Goff. All right, let's focus on this game. 14-7, minute 41 left. Andrew Luck's on the sideline for some reason drinking Gatorade.
He looks very old in that.
He looked like he was a little sick there.
4th and 15. Let's see if Andrew Luck can work some magic here. He drops back to pass. Minute 39 left. He needs 15 yards for the first down. And, he's short. T.Y. Hilton short of the first down. And that's going to give the ball to the Patriots up by 7. And the Colts have 2 timeouts left, but they are going to need basically a miracle to pull this one out.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to. I mean, they have 2 timeouts left, so they'll be.
They could get it back with like 40 seconds left or so.
Okay.
And then they'd need a touchdown after that, or maybe a turnover. Honestly, like I'm sure Sony Michel has fumbled at some point in his life. Why not? Cam going under center here. A first down effectively would end this game. Handoff does go to Michel, up the gut, breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet, falls down, a gain of 8. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 3. I guess a gain of 7 there. 2nd down and 3. And a first down would end this game. Michel, I don't think he's going to reach Ebron from a scoring perspective, so we don't need to talk about that from an MVP perspective, but adding to the total for those people who did decide to use Sony Michel for this game at $12,500.
It's not looking great for Indy's odds right now.
It is not. We did go with the Pats, though, so we can feel better from a betting perspective at least. We've got that going for us.
True.
They do get the stop there. Brings up 3rd down, and if they can get one more stop again, they will get the ball back. Just a question of, can they move the ball fast enough to make something happen? I think this is not a situation where when you've got Cam Newton, you use Cam Newton, not from a passing perspective, but you either run a draw or something.
Oh, man. What is going on? I can't wait for them to not convert here and then not go for it on 4th and 1.
Oh, James White. Almost.
There it is.
Wow. Almost.
And now they're going to punt because they're on the 41. They have 4th and 1 to just end this game, and they're probably going to punt it.
Oh, my goodness. The Madden decision-making it's tiltable. I don't know if that's the word, but I'm going to go with it. I think it's tiltable. Tilt-worthy?
Just the punt team is definitely coming out here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt. There is 0 doubt.
We've seen this game, too. We've seen this game.
Oh, my God.
A field goal. Okay.
So let's see what Gostkowski's got. 58 yards. If they don't make it, they get the ball on the 48-yard line. It's short by 20.
He's like 30 yards short.
So that means they get the ball on the 4. That's the worst thing they could have done.
That was the worst. Okay. That was the worst idea.
They could have snapped the ball, handed it to the Colts, and been in better position than where they're at right now.
Yeah, that was bad.
So they needed to drive 52 yards. Andrew Luck will be at quarterback. This game's not over.
No.
I don't know what the decision-making was. Fake Bill Belichick ain't got nothing on the real thing.
They had 2nd and 3, and now the Colts have the ball with 38 seconds left on their own they're midfield.
Little did you know, Stephen Gostkowski's ratings were actually ours in this game.
Yeah, right.
He was not even close.
That was a bad field goal attempt, for sure.
All right, Andrew Luck's got it. 1st down and 10. Plenty of time left. Gets it to Eric Ebron. Ebron gets out of bounds. Smart move there by Ebron. 35 seconds left. Only a gain of 2. That did take off a decent amount of time, but Eric Ebron, 8 receptions, 83 yards, and a touchdown. Easily the highest scorer so far in this game. Touchdowns on the Patriots side by Matt Lacoste and Sony Michel. 35 seconds left. 2nd and 8 for the Colts. They now are in Patriots territory, though. Andrew Luck has it, throwing it over the middle of the field, incomplete. That brings up 3rd down and 8. 2 plays left for the Colts to make something happen here, unless they can pick up a first down before then.
This is a vintage Andrew Luck finish, though.
This is great. I love it. This has been a fun game, just because it's been so close throughout. There have been absurdly terrible decisions throughout, which has also been fun. But Luck can redeem himself here. 29 seconds left. Throws it deep towards the end zone. Devin Funchess! Devin Funchess just mossed it, dude, for the touchdown, and they're down by a point.
Oh, my goodness, Devin Funchess.
While getting pulled down, Andrew Luck throws it to Funchess, who posterized Stephon freaking Gilmore, and it's a 1-point game. One-handed.
Hey, Jim, do you know how I know that this is the multiverse?
Because Devin Funchess caught it?
Because Devin Funchess just did that.
What was more improbable? Zach Ertz breaking a non-zero number of tackles last week, or Devin Funchess doing that?
This is the most improbable finish to any game that you'll ever see. Period. Man.
Arcade mode. That is all I have to say. Bless arcade mode.
That's amazing.
The Colts, Adam Vinatieri had a rough year. We'll see if he can get it here, and the kick is good. All right, 25 seconds, 3 timeouts for the Patriots, but clock management not a plus for sure. But what a throw and what a catch by Andrew Luck and Devin freaking Funchess.
That just changed so many games and so many lineups. But you know what, Jim? I want to talk a little bit about Jared Goff.
Sure. Let's do it. Devin Funchess, $10,500 for this game. And hey, if you had a lineup of Sony Michel, Matt Lacoste, Devin Funchess, and Eric Ebron, like, send me a screenshot on Twitter at Jim Sonis, and I will give you nothing for it. But just do it because I'm very curious if anyone had that combination.
Yes, same.
Unreal. And that's second passing touchdown for Andrew Luck, too. So he's actually had a pretty good day from a fantasy perspective as well. $15,000 was a lofty salary, but he's gotten that, and there's still the possibility of overtime here too, unless the Patriots can score again here to break this tie in the next 21 seconds.
Wouldn't shock me if they hand the ball off and go for like 3 yards and then just kneel it and go to OT here.
I'll be very sad if we lose our Patriots -2.5 bet with a tie. Like, if there were a tie, there is overtime, but if we lose it because there's a tie, I'll vomit.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're looking at now it's just a money line bet, right? Right. So hopefully,
they score. Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, exactly. Safety. Could be safety.
Safety.
1st and 10 for Cam Newton, and there you go. There's your handoff, JJ. You spoke it into existence. Yeah. We're going to have overtime here on the FanDuel Football Multiverse. This is what you all signed up for. We knew there were only 2 streams left, so the world has said, no. We're going to drag this puppy out even more. There's Anthony Walker Jr. again. Go Cats.
I can't believe Devin Funchess just did that. I hope everyone's as shocked as I am.
Like, insane. Devin Funchess, there was a time where Devin Funchess was underappreciated. Even I, as someone who appreciated Devin Funchess at that time, would never have expected that to happen because that was bonkers. I also had a decent amount of Devin Funchess in best ball last year, which did not go well.
Just plays into my theory that you should be using tight ends in your fantasy lineups.
Yes, exactly. I guess now the Packers' number 2 wide receiver potentially, Devin Funchess.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Whew.
I have no idea who won that.
Poor Aaron Rodgers. And it looks like the Patriots are going to receive. So they will get the ball, tied 14-14 here in overtime at Lucas Oil Stadium. Yeah, so it will be the Patriots to receive. A field goal, I think Madden rules in overtime are the exact same as the NFL. So a field goal here would not end it. It would just give the ball back to the Colts with a chance to answer or potentially best that. If you were to reset expectations here from a betting perspective, are you still okay going with the Patriots, or are you thinking it's more?
I guess they got the kick, but I would put it mostly at a push.
Can you afford to put money on a team that Devin Funchess is not playing on?
I don't think so. I think you only bet Funchess. You
can't. Funchess.
You can't stop Devin Funchess.
You can only hope to contain him, and even then, as we've seen, it ain't happening, man.
Yeah.
14-14, Cam Newton ready to try to guide these Patriots to a win. Cam's so fast in his drop back. That one got tipped to the line, almost intercepted.
That drop back, it was like he was on a people mover at the airport, like just flying backwards.
Those are so fun. If I could spend my entire life on those, I would.
8-year-old Jim letting us all know that he still has fun.
28-year-old Jim was a huge fan. I can tell you that for sure. 29-year-old Jim refuses to go to an airport, but 28-year-old Jim loved those things. 2nd and 10, Cam's going to pass once again. This one is complete. Can't see who caught that one. It's Philip Dorsett. Cam still under 100 yards passing for this game. Hasn't done a whole lot rushing either. So from a fantasy perspective, not a huge day for Cam at 14-5. We both liked him initially at least after that first drive from a fantasy perspective, but not much going for Cam since then, partially because they haven't had the ball, but also the offense, even though they've had the ball, hasn't done anything in the second half.
Right.
And they're not going to get anything there either as James White gets stuffed. White had I think he had 3 carries for 30 yards to start the game, and he's at 7 for 29 now, or 8 for 29 or something. It has not been good. He got the ball on that 3rd down carry where they were trying to ice away the game and couldn't pick up the first down there, which means the Patriots will now punt and give the ball back to Andrew Luck and Devin Funchess. Because, again, we've got to include Devin Funchess in everything from here on forward. Nice little kick there. Good hang time. And it is returned by Nyheim Hines. Not a whole lot cooking there. But the Colts will get the ball on the 19-yard line. Tie ball game here in overtime. Andrew Luck has been a monster in this second half. And a field goal or a touchdown would end this game and give the Colts the victory here. If Devin Funchess gets more points, too, that could swing some more contests because I believe Eric Ebron is still outscoring him as of right now, but potentially could see some interesting stuff here for sure.
Yeah, what is this formation? They're running a goal line formation here on their own 20.
Handout goes to Marlon Mack. I thought he was going to break a tackle there. Couldn't quite do it. Yeah, because it's weird because it seemed like we've had 2018 Frank Reich back in this game because they've been so pass heavy. Marlon Mack has done nothing, but they also haven't run all that much. And it's been because that year that Andrew Luck was healthy, Frank Reich threw the ball there were a couple 60 attempt games in that season.
Here's Marlon Mack.
I think he may have gotten that first down. Yeah, he did. All right, so 1st and 10 for the Colts. 4:08 left in overtime. The next score, if there is a score, will win this game for the Colts or the Patriots. Andrew Luck has had an awesome game. It's been fun to watch him back out there on the football field. Now shifting their formation, setting T.Y. Hilton. I think they may have just flipped the assembly there, or flipped the formation. I don't know why I said assembly. But a face mask.
That's big.
That's big. Kyle Van Noy had that sack earlier, but now a face mask penalty puts the Colts to almost midfield. You know what's going to happen here, JJ? It's a lock. They're going to pick up 5 yards and have Adam Vinatieri in his age 58 season attempt a 97-yard field goal attempt, and he's going to miss it. Actually, given the way the multiverse has gone, he'll probably make it because who are we kidding? We don't know anything here.
Right.
If Devin Funchess can posterize someone for a game-tying touchdown with no time left, Adam Vinatieri can make a 67-yard field goal. Instead, they hand it off to Marlon Mack, and he gets it across midfield out to the 46-yard line. So we're in field goal range now for Adam Vinatieri. I'm just going to call it now.
The Patriots bet is not looking very good though right now. I would not have bet that if I had this information right now.
Well, if we had known about Odell Funchess, we probably wouldn't have made that bet. If we had known Devin Funchess had a 99 rating on Madden, maybe we wouldn't have done this. Eric Ebron going backwards. No gain there, actually a gain of 1 yard. Brings up 3rd down and 3. I think we're going to get this Adam Vinatieri field goal.
I hope we get it.
I'm praying for it. Adam Vinatieri was 9,000 on FanDuel. Not enough, baby. He can drain one from anywhere. Let's do it. 3rd and 3. Ebron, another catch. He's got 10 catches in this game. It's been nuts.
Yeah, he does.
If he can get a touchdown, it wouldn't change things, but it would solidify the people who put Eric Ebron in their MVP slot easily.
Yeah. Yes.
And it would also make Andrew Luck be an insane fantasy asset. Instead, he hits that was Zach Pascal, I think, for a big gain, and now they're legitimately in Adam Vinatieri's field goal.
They're in field goal range. It's looking good for the Colts. Another Andrew Luck comeback. Am I jinxing it right now? Probably.
If we get a pick 6, we can still get this Patriots bet to pay off. We're not dead yet. But Zach Pascal with a huge reception there to put the Colts in field goal territory. That's all they need to win this game. 2:26 left. And Andrew Luck goes back under center for this team. Luck puts T.Y. Hilton in motion. Handoff goes to T.Y. Hilton. He's got space on the outside. Jukes gets inside the 20, and they are just closer to the goal line once again. Hilton gets down to the 18-yard line. We'll come down to the 2-minute warning. Oh, I guess there's no 2-minute warning in overtime in Madden, but that is a huge play there. And once again, the Colts threatening to end this game right away.
Just kick the field goal now. Just get it over with.
I don't know. We can't let Adam Vinatieri have that glory. This is the Andrew Luck game. This is not the Adam Vinatieri game. Vinatieri a quarterback would be pretty entertaining, I guess. But we did not decide to do that. 1st and 10 for Luck, and the completion to Funchess again.
Now bring on Adam Vinatieri. Finish this game.
No, you got to throw it to Funchess. Let him ice this game that he made possible with that huge catch. They're inside. Actually, this is a good spot for Luck to take a couple of sacks. We can't count that out. Anything is possible in these streams. Luck under center, 1st and goal from the 6. Handoff to Marlon Mack. He is taken down for a huge loss there, and it's down back to the 8-yard line.
I mean, eventually they have to realize that they're risking this a little bit with the way that their line is played, the way that Marlon Mack has run the ball in this game. You got to kick the field goal.
No. We need to make this as wild as possible. There's Anthony Walker Jr. again. He's got a lot of screen time in this game. I'm not opposed. Just a little confused, given they're not even on offense right now, or not even on defense right now. Is the 1 minute and 1 second thing? There we go. Okay.
I was going to say, was Andrew Luck really going to go back? He was in shotgun in a empty backfield. And I was like, what is going on right now?
They're going to risk it. No risk it, no biscuit. Let's do it.
Well, we see the offense on the field in the huddle, which means that the special teams unit is probably going to hop on the field here in a second.
Right, exactly. 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. There is Andrew Luck. T.Y. Hilton to the left. Our boy Devin Funchess at the bottom of the screen. Luck's going to pass.
They're throwing it.
In the flat to Eric Ebron. Breaks a tackle, but taken down at the 5-yard line. I thought Eric Ebron was going to break a couple tackles and score there.
Why are they throwing the football?
There's 50 seconds left. There's still time for this thing to get out of hand here.
Eric Ebron has 10 catches now, by the way.
Oh, my goodness. 10 catches for Ebron. Hey, an 11th would be a touchdown.
What are they doing? Just kick the field goal and end the game.
Let's make this fun. Luck drops back to pass. Plenty of time. Throws in the end zone. There is Eric Ebron, his 11th reception of the game, and this one wins it for the Colts. His 2nd receiving touchdown. That's a monster game. 3rd passing touchdown for Andrew Luck, and the Colts win it in Andrew Luck's return to the FanDuel Football Multiverse.
I can't believe that all that just happened, and that swung the contest so much because it was Ebron too. I mean, it was a huge deal. Yeah. They could have easily kicked the field goal 8 minutes ago.
Andrew Luck talking smack to the camera. JJ, any final takeaways for you from this one?
I want Andrew Luck back in football because that was fun.
Absolutely. 11 receptions, 93 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Eric Ebron. Andrew Luck, also a huge game in his return, 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. We are back here again tomorrow. Clemson versus Ohio State. Get those contests in. We'll talk to you then 8 p.m. Eastern time for the final edition of the FanDuel Football Multiverse. For Calvin Theobald and JJ Zachariason, I am Jim Sonnes saying so long for tonight. Andrew Luck leads the Colts to victory here on the FanDuel Football Multiverse.